Good morning, friends. Pastor Ashley here. Thanks so much for joining me on what I think is this beautiful Thursday morning. I love weather like this. The rain and the dull sky just makes me feel cozy, and I enjoy it so much. And I know some people think that I'm nuts for that, but each to their own. So I'm going to say thanks for joining me on this beautiful Thursday morning. My hope is that it just keeps raining all day because I feel like I can see things greening up already. And that is so exciting, especially since we don't have very much green, very much of the year that's green. So, the greener it can be, the better. And rain is always good for our farmers as well. So just want to give a couple quick announcements here. Make sure you keep an eye on our website, fortsaskalliance.com, and our online gatherings tab there for everything that's coming up online at Fort Alliance, and then keep an eye on our Facebook page as well, and make sure that you like and follow it, and so that you can have the information as we post it, that it can just pop right into your news feed, and then you don't even have to go looking for it. I also want to mention specifically just our small groups. We have men's, women's, co-ed small groups available, and community is so important always, and especially during this time when we are, some of us are just extra isolated. And also wanted to mention next Tuesday, May 26th at 10:30, you can join our staff for prayer. So we have our staff meetings on Tuesdays usually. So we're inviting folks in to join us for the prayer portion of that. And we would love to see you there. So if you want to join in on that, you can just head over to our website and then just the online gatherings tab, and you'll find the Zoom link there to join next Tuesday. So I want to ask you about a little scenario. Have you ever found yourself looking at someone else, a situation that they're in, maybe that you have never experienced or that you've gone through, and you look at them and you just feel so much judgment. You just think, oh man, if that were me, I would do those things differently. Or, I wouldn't have made that mistake, or oh, why are they griping and complaining about that? That's not even a big deal. Or, oh man, I would parent those kids differently, or, I would have made better choices in school, or whatever that looks like. Have you ever found yourself in that situation? I know I have. And then does it ever happen to you that, a while later you find yourself in their situation and you go, oh shoot, I shouldn't have been so harsh because this is different than I thought it was. This is harder than I thought it was. This has, nuances to it that I wasn't even aware of. Or, maybe, you have been in that situation. Take anxiety, for instance. You've seen someone who deals with anxiety, and you just think, man, get over it. Like, you really just need to get over it. And then you find yourself, experiencing some anxiety, and all of a sudden you go, oh wow, that is different, than I thought that it was. I've experienced that in all sorts of ways, and it's always just this like slice of humble pie when you go, oh Lord, forgive me because, I want your mercy now, and I wasn't giving mercy then. And so I just want to encourage you with something that I'm, exhorting myself with, is to, in each and every situation, to do our best to give grace. It's so easy to come up with judgments. It's so easy to think we would do things differently or better, or that we know better, but we should have no clue what each and every person is dealing with. And you might be hearing this and saying, well, I think it's important to talk about truth and to talk about error. And I agree. But I think that so often when we stop and we actually investigate our hearts, we find that we're coming from a place of pride, a place of judgment, not a place of love, not a place of just, wanting the best for this person. So yeah, my encouragement to you today is, in every situation where you find yourself looking at someone else, looking at their lot, looking at where they're at, that you just ask God to give you enormous amounts of grace for them, that you ask God to give you just a sense of caring, of kindness, and then instead of, judgment and, making ourselves feel good, that we would just, weep with those who weep, that we would come alongside those who are hurting, and that we would just really have the heart of Jesus towards everyone we come in contact with, because we never know when we're going to find ourselves in a situation where we need that extra grace and where we need that extra support. And as Christians, we really do need to be defined by that. We need to be defined by love and by grace for our fellow human beings. And so, friends, I pray today and in the days to come, that as you find yourself in places where it would be so easy to judge, that you choose grace instead. And so that is that brings me to the end of these devotionals for me for the week. Pastor Ken's going to be here tomorrow at 10:30 doing another Facebook Live Devo, just giving us a little glimpse about what we're going to expect in the sermon on Sunday. And friends, I will see you next week, next Tuesday at 10:30 here for another Facebook Live devotional. So I pray that your weekends the rest of your week and your weekend are restful, fruitful, and filled with the grace and the peace and the joy of Jesus, that his love would just wash over you from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet, that it would flow through all of those parts that are fearful, through all of those parts that are uncertain, through all those parts that are angry and broken, and that he would bring you healing and that he would bring you rest. I love you all, and I can't wait to see you next week. Thanks for joining me.